All right. So welcome to another episode of Don't Be Extra, starring my brother Narkish.
How's it going?
And we're here to discuss Halloween decorations, Halloween drinks, and tell some funny stories.
Yeah.
Probably starting with this magnificent creation that is sitting right behind us. This is Evil Tree number 2. Evil Tree number 1 was too evil. So this is something Jason and I came up with. We went to Michael's Craft Store, which is a great place to go for Halloween items. Unfortunately, it's very expensive. So if you have a coupon, that is what I will definitely recommend you use. For today's stuff, we actually ended up going to the Dollar Tree, and they have really upped their game as far as what you can actually get there. So I definitely recommend Dollar Tree and then, coupon at Michael's or some of the other craft stores like that.
Yeah, like for Halloween time, we had always take and start off by going, you could get the sense of Halloween because all the stores started coming out with it. Now they come out with it like super early, but
Christmas is also up at the Dollar Tree if you're into Christmas. So I actually took a picture, which I'll post with the blog, and it literally shows like Halloween, Thanksgiving, which is a very narrow portion, and then the rest of the whole side aisle is something about Christmas.
So we would go to Michael's and walk down the aisles right when they first started putting out the Halloween stuff. We'd go like every week to see what else they got, like how it progressed.
The new stuff.
And so one day we're walking and we see that they had this one tree on display, and it was for $89.99. It was like $90.
And it was really cool because we looked at it and it kind of looked like that tree from Sleepy Hollow for anyone that's into like horror movies or scary movies. And we thought it was really cool because it looked like that death tree that the horseman and the rider come running out of. So,
yeah. So we decided that it wasn't worth paying $90 for the tree, even though it was really cool. I told Kate, I was just like, we can go to Lowe's and just buy the stuff and make our own tree for a hell of a lot less.
Yes, we were very confident.
Yeah.
So.
And then this is our second creation. The first one had a face when we made it, not on purpose.
Kind of.
It was like right around here-ish. Yeah. And it looked like an evil Statue of Liberty, but like, I don't even know.
It started looking really weird. We were in the basement and it was just dark and it just didn't look good. So, yeah.
So we had to quickly change it to Scary Tree number 2.
Yes. And basically this is 4 metal rods that construct the bottom. And then we, Jason had bought some of this like this mesh material right here. And we wrapped that around there. We used about 2 rolls of duct tape, I think, to basically cover every single thing and to make like leaves. And it's seen better days.
Yeah, it looks a little haggard right now, but it's also like 6 years old.
Yeah.
So it's doing pretty good for as old as it is.
And it's sentimental to us for Halloween. And I think another interesting story is that we had a bunch of Halloween decorations that we're going to get into later that we actually made. And our parents, neither one of us live with our parents, but they kind of had the stuff. We would decorate their yard for them. It was a good time for us to see them. They get trick-or-treaters. I mean, I live in an apartment, so we really don't get many trick-or-treaters. And you live out in the country, so you don't get anyone
nobody comes here.
They live in a development, so we would actually go over there, decorate the whole house, and inside, outside, everything like that. Well, then, like, our parents decided that they were going to move, and there was a whole bunch of Halloween stuff, and they basically just, like, took it and, like, I can't say this for certain, but I'm pretty sure, like, it went down the stairs, and it was, like, in, like, this mess of styrofoam and PVC and some other stuff. So we'll get into that later, but they actually just asked us to come get our shit.
Yeah, get your shit out of our house.
And they have not moved yet. I just want to point that out too. Like, it was a rush issue at the time.
That's right, because they were acting like they're going to move like the next day.
Yeah. So, but they're still in the house. They're still here, and they're talking about moving. So, we'll see what happens. But what we're going to do is we're going to take you guys over to the table and kind of show you what we've got going on, show you some of the things that we've made, give you some ideas. So these are basically what we were looking at when we went to the store, and we paid between $8 and I think $15 for these gravestones, which are just a piece, which are just styrofoam. They are well made. They have held up pretty well, but we again decided that we could kind of do it on our own. So we went to the store. We went to Lowe's, I believe, and we bought this package here of styrofoam. And you can see it's got quite a few sheets in it, and we ended up just cutting them, spray painting them, and putting them together so we could create these right here, which is basically a welcome and a beware sign. And we ended up just like cutting out the long strip on the outside and all the letters and, kind of using some creativity to make the letters and the words.
Yep. All right, so with the lettering and everything, as you can see, as it goes down, we glued it on each piece separately. But when you use the spray paint, you got to be careful because it will start to erode and eat away at the styrofoam just because of the alcohol base.
And we also found that it is difficult to glue these things together.
Yeah, they don't like to hold the glue.
Yeah. So essentially, as we were creating this, we were trying to figure out a way, because we actually made these into four-sided pillars.
Yeah.
And to actually do that, we ended up using toothpicks, which you can see here. And then we go through on the sides. And then we would basically construct those with these other pieces down here to make those sides. So I don't know if anyone has found a better way. If you have, you can comment and basically let us know what you use. But most of the adhesives that you find out there, they're going to, like you said, erode away at that styrofoam.
Yeah. This was another, we saw it and we figured we could make it better than having to buy one. And the one they had was made out of wood,
yes.
I think. So we figured we had all the styrofoam laying around. So we took and...
Just show the layers.
Yeah.
So
you can see a bunch of different layers put together, all pieced out to make the skull and crossbones.
Yeah, like the nose, and then the teeth are on the very top, then the eyes, like the eye sockets.
And this one is held together with a little bit of glue and mostly toothpicks.
Yeah, we had an injury and it kind of broke, and that was the only way to fix it.
Yeah, so. He's kind of held together.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that was something that we actually saw, and it was too heavy, I believe, for what we were trying to use it for, and we thought that we could use more of the styrofoam, which we've already bought, to actually go ahead and do that. So a lot of ideas, a lot of creativity can go into this to make it really what you want it to say, what you want it to look like, and you have a lot of options. So.
And then the other thing that we made with just some easy PVC, some black spray paint, and some zip ties was this fence post. Oh, we did 2 fences. There's another one further back over there, but it really, the best way to hold it in the ground is you just take a piece of rebar or some off thread that's really thin, like 1/4 inch, and you just beat that into the ground right where the posts are going to go, and it holds it up really well.
PVC is something I don't think people really think about that often when you're thinking of your own Halloween decorations, but especially if you have a saw, like we have a circular saw we use, which is way easier, but even like a hand saw, you can literally make stands for figures, which you just drape the cloak over. It will look like anything you want it to look like, especially because people are scared on Halloween and it looks eerie in your yard.
Yep.
We actually just ended up using these zip ties here to hold like the different pieces together. The reason why it looks so beat up is because, again, pretty sure Mom threw it down the stairs to put it down there. But again, that's a nice way. In the video that I originally posted as the teaser, there's an image of the yard all decorated, and it actually has these pillars.
Oh, nice.
And then it actually has the fence shown from what we do at the yard. I think the Happy Acre Cemetery sign is posted there too. So we make a combination of the things that we actually make and the things that we actually, can buy.
So next we have pumpkins. Now, they actually look really, really cool in person. I don't know how they look on camera right now, but all it is dryer vent. And then you zip tie it together and spray paint it whatever color you want. So we took a little leaf and stuck it in the middle. They actually look like really good pumpkins. We did white because we weren't sure how the white was going to look, but the white looks really good. You can also do black and white if you just take a paint bucket or a paper plate and fill with black paint after you spray paint it and it dries, and you just roll it across and it takes and it'll make black stripes on all the indentations. Give that zebra look.
I mean, some people had actually decorated these too with stencils. They had done like very intricate Harlequin type, things on there, depending on what your theme is for your Halloween. But that was actually something that was easy. I think we actually used a little ribbon of hot glue to kind of seal the dryer vent to itself. And then we found out that it's really hot, so please be careful. It will burn your fingers. You will have no skin left on like your thumb and forefinger. But if you use the zip ties, that really gives it more that support, and then it's not going to pull away later. I mean, these things look like we made them yesterday, and we've had them for years. So this is a very user-friendly. And you probably can get, I want to say almost 7 pumpkins
out of one section. Yeah.
And I think we paid like $30 for that. So we actually got a really good amount of money for that, especially with the price of pumpkins. Again, if you're at Michael's or something like that, they're not that cheap. The white pumpkin in the back, the store-bought one, that's actually one we got from Michael's. It was $30, and I used a 40% off coupon on it when I bought it for this event. And I would never pay $30 for something like that. A lot of people can find them cheaper in other places, but just where I was at, that was the best that I could do. So the next thing over here is when I was at the Dollar Tree, I found our favorite candy corn. I don't know if people actually eat this or if it just gets reused again. Like this is the original candy corn that they made in like whenever candy corn came out, probably like a million years ago. But some people love this. There is actually a Jello shot that you can actually do with vodka and then some other things like orange liqueur, and you can actually make this. But I don't really like Jello shots that much. I do them at St. Patty's Day and that's about it. So we actually had to get some of this just because it is a great decoration piece. It does have the colors of Halloween. You can like scatter this around, you know, decorations on the table. And some people do like to eat it. I think one of the IT guys we work with actually really loves this stuff. I actually picked up some stuff for my nephews when I was out there. These are like stickers. You have your mandatory bat rings, like the spider rings. These are also just $1. They're little treat boxes that are shaped like coffins, and they have like little scary things inside. So if you have like, you know, kids or, you know, you're just trying to send something out there to make it look like Halloween. Pencils, beware, some of these little whack-a-packs. So it was just a good idea to go ahead and pick that up while I was already out there. And then another thing, of course, you're always going to have your spider web.
Always need the spider web.
We learned something today when we were setting up for this event.
We remembered something today.
If you can like pan around and kind of show them what we have. You see we have some lights, some spider webs. We have this scary hanging guy over here. Never put the spider web up first.
Yeah.
Which is what I did.
Because when you try to put the lights up, you get caught in the spider web.
It's been in my hat. It's been on my back. It's been everywhere. So just a reminder, that's probably the last thing you're going to do before you get everything done. And most people, they just like ball it up and throw it away at the end of the season. We've reused ours since we lived in Virginia Beach. So it's been quite a while, but that stuff will last forever. So
the more wind it gets, the more blown out it looks.
It does.
So if you want it to look more like a spider web, the first thing you want to do is actually put it up very last, like right before Halloween.
Yeah.
Like the Halloween day.
And the more you stretch it and the more things you attach it to, the better it's going to look. Some people have a really difficult time putting up the thing, but you have to make it very thin. You have to stretch it very thin. All right. So as you can tell, today is it's getting kind of dark. It's overcast. There's rain scheduled for tonight. Thank God it didn't rain today, because that would have been like when we went camping and we had to set the tent up in the rain and wind and all that good stuff. But it didn't happen. But today is also the first day of fall, which is pretty cool. It's the 22nd. It's supposed to happen at 9:53 or 9:23 tonight.
Equinox.
The vernal equinox. So very awesome day to actually get together and have all this. So we were talking about like other stories and just like some other things that have happened at Halloween.
I guess we could tell the one we set up. We set up my parents' house because they like celebrating Halloween, but they don't like to set up Halloween.
Yeah.
So I went over and was decorating the entire yard, had everything set up. Another good thing, if you live near the woods, dead trees. If you can find a dead tree or big branches even, you can make those into trees. All you need is some kind of post that you can put down in the ground, and then you can just zip tie the trees to it. Yeah. And it will completely change the outlook, the atmosphere, everything of your yard.
Yeah, well, like I think one of the cool things is that like our mom growing up was like very much into Halloween. And she's also very religious, but she also really loved Halloween. Like she made like a coffin out of like an old like box for something. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, she's always been really into it. So like we've kind of carried that on. And I know that Narkish has always done like a really fantastic job at like decorating everything. I think the year that you're talking about was the year you had the kayak with the skeleton in it.
Yeah.
One of the big jokes that you might not know about Narkish, there's a joke, and it's what's better than 2 fog machines?
3.
Or 4.
Or 4.
Or 5.
As many as you can get.
Yeah. So, like, I have been to your house a couple of times now, and I've seen the fog just, like, covering the whole yard. You've actually become really smart about it. If you do use a fog machine and you're having an issue where, like, the fog is dispensing out into, like, a cloud, but you really want it to do something else.
Yeah, if you want it to stay low to the ground and, like, just hug the grass, you can you can use water first. That'll make the smoke stick to your grass better. But also, if you take irrigation lines, like any corrugated pipe, it's
just that simple like black pipe.
And it's got the little holes in the side of it. If you put a fog machine into that, as the fog comes out, it stays to the ground. It doesn't billow, and it just rolls only like real fog.
It's like I was gonna say, it's like the coolest thing. It is literally like being on a movie set where you see like Like especially we set up graveyards a lot of times.
Yeah.
A lot of people we set up graveyards for Halloween, and it will literally keep that fog right around the bottom of your gravestones, as though it's really creepy.
Yep.
And it's really cool. I think you also did an archway once with the same kind of idea, and the fog kind of fell down.
Fell out of the archway. Yep. Use paper to help knock it down.
So,
But the one I was actually thinking of was when Mom and Dad, hurricane came right
Oh.
before Halloween. We had the whole yard set up and it was looking great.
yeah,
And then this storm comes up and we had to take everything down, throw it in the garage.
It was
And we're
bad.
like, well, what are we going to do for Halloween? Halloween is like ruined. We're not going to be able to have anything
Yeah,
up.
it was
It's
terrible.
not worth putting it out there because it's just going to get destroyed in the rain. So my dad told us that we could use the garage. Never in my life have I ever heard my dad tell us that we could use the garage.
again,
for
the same
anything.
person that said that we couldn't put up to me Christmas lights because we would burn down his house. So yeah, it was really a surprise, and he's like, "You should definitely do that." So
we built an archway and put out of plywood, covered the door, turned the entire
well, our parents have a 2-car garage.
2-car garage.
And basically, we were able to use like the right-hand side car garage, and leave the left-hand side out. We draped
it was that
the yard cover, the
Yeah.
black yard cover that you put down when you put
it
down
kills
plants
the
and stuff.
weeds and stuff like
Yeah.
that from your gardens. But we used that all over the place. We had a little coffin, makeshift coffin that we used out of cardboard box.
That was
Had a
awesome.
Skeleton put in there. Had 2 fog machines inside the
We
garage,
had black lights
rolling out,
Yeah.
strobe lights. Yeah,
And it's important to note, like what we've showed you today is only really kind of the stuff that we've kind of built. It's it's a very small portion of it. We've actually spent quite a good deal of money on store-bought things. If anyone knows the Spirit stores that are around,
Spirit of Halloween.
the Spirit of Halloween. I mean, everyone's been there, for costumes, everything else. But we would buy like, I think you have lightning sound effects
Yeah.
and lights that happen. We used at a murder mystery party we went
that
to.
one
You
back,
built
that frame that I built up.
one Halloween we did like a murder mystery party. We've done a couple of those, and it just works out really cool. So the basic thing is, if you're trying to create an effect, just like think of the details that are going to go with it, because you're really going to need to watch those details. You don't want theme confusion. You don't want someone to show up thinking they're at like Dracula's castle, but you were really trying to do like a night theme. So you just really have to be careful and just pay attention to those details and just communicate that to like your guests that are coming, or like people that are in your house, like roommates, whatever you got going on.
And I know like the Halloween stores, they always have those borders, like they look like a brick wall or something like that. And they always I always thought they were stupid. And I was like, you can't use that for anything. It's this pointless to buy. And I ended up buying it one year and I put it around a deck, a fence on a deck. And it made it look like an actual concrete stone face like wall. It was actually really good. And so after that, I was like, wow, I was hooked.
Yeah, it just came in like a roll
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. So yeah, and like I think Oriole Trading is a good place if you get in early enough, get your order in, that you can actually get it before Halloween.
Yeah.
One thing I learned setting up for this event too is like, don't wait till the last minute to try to like get everything together, because it takes like more time than you think it's going to take. Everything takes more time. So yeah, but just like have fun. Halloween is supposed to be about safety, fun, and scaring people. So usually in that order. If you get them out of that order, that's when you kind of run into trouble. But that makes for good stories. Like, don't be extra is all about. So
Just make them sign a waiver.
yeah, make them sign a waiver before you actually, let them, come onto your property as far as, that goes. So Halloween is a time to have fun. And we hope that you guys, really take some of the ideas that we've used and the problems we've run into that we've told you about today, and don't run into the same issues that we've actually come up with.
Yep.
And this is the scariest thing that Jason has to encounter. Poison ivy. Hashtag grown up fears.
Sound check, sound check.
You have to pin it on to make it work. So then you're going to be like, it's good, and then it's like nothing else after that.
Now you're gonna.
Not really. It isn't.
Now you're gonna hear.
Yeah,
ahead.
from the beard.
Just do it.
Sound check.
All right. Okay. Think we're good?
I think so.
All right.
Well, I'll just follow your lead.
That's cool.
What?
She said Kate's gonna throw things at you. I said, well, hopefully that's Scotch.
You can help yourself to all the things.
That's the car.
You have the keys in your
That's what I'm checking to make sure I don't. I think they're in the Jeep.
All right.
All right, I'll be back.
All right,
girl.
babe.
Can't believe she's leaving now. It's like our one viewer. She's leaving.
As soon as you guys got all set up, Dad's like, okay, you ready?
Should have put the spider webs on last.
Um, we'll definitely make sure we note that.
Yeah.
So, spider webs last. And then the rain hit. So we had to retreat inside to make our drinks.